Jimbo's Garage.
Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome back to Jimbo's Garage. Well, I know a lot of my viewers have seen this new Bosch 12-inch compound miter saw that I've recently acquired, and a couple of things I wanted to talk about. The reason why I got this particular saw is because I'm limited on space on my workbench right here, and this particular saw has a 12-inch shorter working capacity than most of the competitors. And what I mean by that is this is on a hinge type of extension here, where the other ones have poles that extend out and take up much more space, and this right here works really good for me. It allows me to keep it on my workbench right here. Now this thing has a 14-inch horizontal cutting capacity and a 6.5-inch vertical cutting capacity, which is really cool. It's more than, you can drop a 2x12 on here. Like most shelf material or whatever is 11.5 inches or 11 5/8 or whatever it may be, and it easily slices through. This thing's got 14 inches. Another thing I like about this is it can be operated either left hand or right hand, which is quite often I do the same thing. I come in here and I'll cut this way, or I'll come over here and cut this way, and be able to operate it both ways. It has a 15 amp motor and winds up to about 3,800 RPM, which is pretty impressive. It definitely doesn't lack for power. Here's a couple other good features I like about this is you can open this up right here and slide this fence open an additional, it looks like maybe 8 inches or so, and that does that on both sides. And not only does this slide open, but this actually opens up here, and you're allowed to extend the table the same on each side, an additional possibly 8 inches, opening your table up, which gives you some more stability with your wood. Pretty awesome. I like those features. Another thing I like a lot, because to me this thing is, when it's plugged in, it's dangerous, and when it's plugged in and this is open like that, and if somebody's in my shop, I'm just always paranoid that someone's going to come around, fart around, and I don't know, maybe pull the trigger, who knows what. So I always, when I'm not using this thing, I unplug it. But anyways, I like this right here, because when I shut this down, I can just close this right here, and this stays closed. And there's also a lever on the back that's able to lock the slide from moving as well. And so it stays nice and compact on my worktop, and it's perfect for me. I really like having this thing. I changed the blade right out of the box on this, but I got this Diablo 100 tooth, and just because I wanted it. I just thought it would be cut better, and there's nothing wrong with the Bosch blade. I'm sure that works just fine. I just happened to change that out on the saw when I got it. This thing, obviously because it's a compound miter saw, it does pivot to 60 degrees this way, and about 50 degrees this way. This is good for maybe guys that do crown molding or cut rafter tails or framers or whatever, because I noticed that there's some dimensions on here and some pitches on here that refer to roof rafter pitch angles and maybe steps. I'm not really certain, but stuff that I'll probably not use. Okay, so it also has this material clamp, it looks like it, which is pretty handy to have if you had some big stock in here. You're able to bring this down and clamp it, and you can see that this got quite of an adjustability here for some really thin material or even some thicker material. And this also, you're able to move it from this side and actually put it on the other side. And if you choose not to use it, it just simply slides out of the way. It's pretty cool. Also, this has the ability to pitch from one side to the other side just by simply moving, lifting up the lever, and this is able to come down here 45 degrees, come this way to 45 degrees. Like I say, I'm not certain I'll be using this feature too much, but you never know. But anyways, it's pretty cool. And so I'd like to demonstrate, we'll do a couple cuts with this thing, and I'll show you what it's all about, and let's do it. Okay, so we're going to cut a little bit of stuff here for you, a couple of different things to show you how things operate. First, I want to use this 12-inch shelf material. You know, this is a 1x12. This is commonly, you know, stuff you get at the hardware store, making shelves or building stuff with. It's pretty cool. So here, I'll show you how this works. First, unlock it here, unlock the slide. You know, and this is one of the reasons that I got this particular saw. Again, is this hinge action here different than the two rods that would extend 12 inches out if I was doing this. It just takes up so much less space, and it works really good right here. I'm going to slide this right over. As you can see, that's just really smooth, cuts really nice. And again, this is 12 inches. It's got a 14-inch capacity, but cuts through that really smooth. All right, next we got this 4x4 right here. Now, I've opened this slide up here. That's giving me that extra length that I need. We're going to drop this 4x4 post in here. And, you know, this is where this little clamp comes in handy. You know, I'm just going to slide this thing over and help hold this thing down. You know, secure this into position so there's no threat of this thing moving out of the way. And go ahead and just cut it. Perfect, nice clean cut. Nothing moved. I really like it. This is a pretty handy little tool right here to have to hold material securely in place. All right, slide that out of the way. Look at that cut. Nice, really smooth. All right, and last but not least, we'll take this thing and let's just move this thing over. And I'm going to cut this on a 45-degree angle. And just grab this little piece of 1x4 or so. Again, what I could do is move this thing over here and clamp it down, but I think I'm in really good shape right here. So here we go. Let's just do that. And there we go. So take this and move this back to the position 0, lock it in, move blade down, lock it, everything is locked. Okay, so there you go, the Bosch compound miter saw. I picked this up at the Home Depot for about $600, maybe a little bit more than the competitors, but to me it was well worth it. I gained this space and I really like the way this thing operates. So anyways, this thing will be in a lot of videos to come. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to rate, comment, and subscribe for more videos.
See you next time on Jimbo's Garage.